Welcome to The Explainer. We're jumping right into a really extraordinary political moment happening in Washington. See, a sitting president is facing a rebellion, but not from the other party. No, this one's coming from senior members of his own party. And it's all about one of the most unexpected, frankly, wild foreign policy ideas you could imagine. And that's the reaction, right there, straight from a senior Republican senator. And you gotta understand, he wasn't talking about a rival's policy. He was talking about a proposal from his own president. This kind of public break, well, you just almost never see it. So you have to ask, what on earth could provoke this kind of public revolt, especially inside a party that, really prides itself on loyalty? What's the idea that's so explosive? Well, it turns out it wasn't just one guy speaking out. Pretty soon, a whole chorus of really powerful conservatives started weighing in, and they were using language that was, well, let's just say it was shockingly blunt. I mean, just listen to the phrasing here. Weapons grade stupid. That's not just a polite disagreement, right? That is someone sounding a massive alarm bell, calling this idea not just bad, but dangerously incompetent. And if you want to understand how serious this is, look no further when the former Republican leader in the Senate compares this to the withdrawal from Afghanistan, which was one of the most criticized foreign policy moments in recent memory. He's telling you they see this as an absolute catastrophe waiting to happen. So you can see, this isn't just one or two people on the fringe. We're talking about a whole group of heavy hitters, from Tom Tillis to Mitch McConnell. And here's something interesting. See how several of them aren't running for re-election? That might just be giving them the freedom to speak their minds this openly. Okay, so what is this plan that's got everyone so fired up? Let's get right into the proposal that's at the heart of this whole rebellion. So the whole thing boils down to this. President Trump has renewed his public push for the United States to basically acquire Greenland. And let's be super clear here, we're not talking about some tiny uninhabited island. This is a massive autonomous territory of Denmark, a founding member of NATO and one of America's key allies. Now, this idea isn't totally new. He's mentioned it before. But now, it's really heating up. So what was the catalyst? It seems to be the recent successful U.S. raid that captured Venezuela's president. And maybe feeling emboldened by that win, the White House is now completely fixated on getting Greenland, saying it's a matter of national security. And you can bet this didn't stay a domestic issue for long. The idea sent immediate shockwaves across the Atlantic, putting America's closest allies on incredibly high alert. And this slide really lays out the huge clash at the center of all this. On one side, you have the White House saying the U.S. needs Greenland for its security. But on the other side, you have our allies looking at this and thinking it's an absolutely unthinkable violation of another country's sovereignty. And the Danish government's response? Wow, it couldn't be more serious. For them to say this could spell the end of NATO? That's an incredible statement. They're basically saying this could shatter the most important military alliance of the last 75 years. So, in response, our European allies are doing more than just putting out press releases. They're actually sending troops to Greenland, France, Germany, the UK, and others. Officially, it's a show of political support, but let's be real. It's a crystal clear signal of solidarity with Denmark. It's a warning. So, you've got this rebellion brewing at home, and our allies are sounding the alarm abroad. How did the president respond? Did he maybe back down? Nope, not even close. In fact, the administration has tripled down. First, after a tense meeting with Danish officials, the demands didn't change at all. Then came the threats, talk of tariffs on any country that gets in the way. And finally, the president turned his focus inward, promising to punish any Republicans who dared to step out of line. And that pressure, it works. If you want proof, just look at a recent unrelated vote on war powers. The president publicly called out 5 Republicans who voted against him. A few days later, 2 of them flipped their votes, and the measure died. It's a perfect example of the pressure these guys are under to toe the line, and it's for sure a warning shot to anyone thinking about dissenting on Greenland. So this whole situation has really turned into a high-stakes test. It's forcing Republicans to make a choice. Is it loyalty to their president, or is it loyalty to the decades-long principles of American foreign policy? Respecting our allies and the NATO alliance. And here's the other crucial piece of this puzzle. All of this political drama is happening while polls show that the American public is just not on board with this idea at all. And that adds a whole other layer of risk for these politicians trying to figure out which side to be on. So in the end, this whole conflict has become about so much more than just a single piece of land. It really makes you wonder, right? Is this really a fight for an island? Or is it a fight for the future of America's alliances and its role in the entire world?